It begins without drama, almost unnoticed. You're a child, maybe 7 years old, standing in front of a parent whose inner world is collapsing. It could be addiction, it could be rage, it could be the dead quiet of someone emotionally unavailable, too fractured to show up. And in that moment, without language, something ancient activates inside you. A realization forms before logic ever could. If I don't keep this together, everything will fall apart. This is the moment a child vanishes. Not in body, but in psyche. You adapt. You smile more often. You cry less openly. You learn to scan the emotional atmosphere before you speak. You become the regulator, the stabilizer, the one who absorbs tension so others don't have to. Childhood shortens, adulthood arrives early, and the world rewards you for it. You're called mature, responsible, remarkably strong, but no one pauses to ask the question that matters most. What did it cost you? This is the silent mourning of those who were forced to grow up before they were ready. And this is where the psychology runs deep, because the impact doesn't disappear with age. It embeds itself into your nervous system. It shapes how you love, how you work, how you measure your worth. And if you never name what happened, you'll spend your adult life reenacting survival strategies that once kept you safe, but are now quietly eroding you. To understand this, we have to look at what happens developmentally. When a child is placed in the role of emotional caretaker instead of being cared for, psychology calls this parentification. The child becomes the mediator, the emotional anchor, the protector, sometimes even the therapist. This isn't just unhealthy, it fundamentally alters brain development. Because when emotional responsibility is placed on a child too early, it creates hypervigilance, a constant scanning for threat, a life lived on alert. You learn to walk carefully, you learn that peace must be earned, you learn that love comes with conditions. Your needs feel risky, other people's emotions feel urgent, so you retreat inward, not physically, but emotionally. In your place, a highly functional version of you emerges. The good one, the capable one, the dependable one, the one who never asks. And you perform that role so convincingly that eventually even you forget it's an act. But something inside remains unresolved, because the child you buried didn't disappear. They stayed waiting, carrying a quiet question that never found an answer. Why didn't anyone protect me? As you grow older, the effects become more layered. You may become fiercely independent, rejecting help even when you need it. You may struggle to feel safe in intimacy, mistrusting softness, bracing for abandonment. Joy might feel unfamiliar, undeserved, even threatening. Rest may feel uncomfortable, because productivity became your proof of worth. And the most dangerous part is this. You might not even realise you're still surviving instead of living. When chaos becomes normal, early in life, the nervous system accepts it as baseline. Calm feels unnatural. Stillness feels suspicious. Love feels like something you'll eventually have to repay. This is not just sadness, it's complex trauma. A restructuring of how you relate to safety, identity, and self-worth. You might wonder why a child would ever step into that role. The answer is simple and devastating. Children will sacrifice themselves for attachment. They will abandon their own needs to preserve connection. This choice is never conscious. It's biological. When safety is absent, the child trades authenticity for belonging. That isn't weakness, it's intelligence, it's survival. But here's the tragedy. What saved you then confines you now. So many adults walk through life highly capable on the surface, while neglected inner children quietly dictate their behaviour. We achieve to earn love. We stay silent to avoid rejection. We carry everyone else's weight, while secretly longing for someone to notice how tired we are. That quiet fantasy that someone might finally see through the strength and say, you don't have to hold this anymore. That longing doesn't belong to your adult self. It belongs to the child who never got to rest. Healing doesn't begin with fixing. It begins with witnessing. Because until you acknowledge what happened, you'll keep minimizing it. You'll tell yourself it wasn't that bad, that others had it worse, that you turned out fine. But fine is another role, another mask, and you already know that. So what does that child become in adulthood? They become adults who feel unsafe even in peaceful spaces. They become partners who struggle to trust gentleness. They become caregivers who don't know how to receive. They apologize for tears, shrink from praise, confuse burnout with achievement. This is the inheritance of growing up too soon. If your childhood taught you to be strong instead of soft, silent instead of honest, responsible instead of protected, then adulthood becomes a prolonged holding pattern, always bracing, always waiting for permission to collapse. But here's the truth. No one is coming to rescue the child you left behind. You are the one who must return. You are the one who must say the words that were never spoken. You didn't deserve that. You were only a child. You're allowed to rest now. This is where shadow work begins. Not with performance, not with positivity, not with spiritual bypassing, but with turning toward the abandoned parts of yourself and saying, I see you, I hear you, I'm staying. This process isn't gentle, it demands grief. It asks you to feel what you were never allowed to feel. Rage, sadness, longing, the pain of birthdays when no one showed up, the loss of innocence surrendered in service of survival. That grief is not weakness, it's movement, it's thawing. And now notice how these patterns continue quietly in adult life. You may become the emotional support in every relationship while remaining unseen yourself. You may be praised for independence while secretly fearing you're too much. You may overfunction in love, managing, fixing, explaining, and wondering why resentment builds. Boundaries may feel impossible because saying no still registers as betrayal. These are not personality flaws, they are learned responses. And what is learned can be unlearned. But only if you stop glorifying your strength and start honouring your wounds. One powerful step is asking your inner child a simple question. What did you need that you never received? The answers often surface quietly. Reassurance, protection, play, rest. Being asked how you were doing without needing to perform. And slowly, you begin offering those things to yourself. Not to rewrite the past, but to stop repeating it. This is how you stop seeking parents and partners. How you stop confusing anxiety with intuition. How you stop running from both who you were and who you're becoming. Carl Jung once wrote that consciousness comes with pain, and that people will go to extreme lengths to avoid meeting their own soul. Shadow work asks you to do the opposite, to face it all, the neglected parts, the ashamed parts, the frightened and angry ones. Because healing is not about transformation into something new. It's about returning to what existed before adaptation took over. If you were forced to grow up too soon, understand this. Your maturity was never the issue. The tragedy was that you were never given a choice. Now you have one. You can choose gentleness. You can choose rest. You can stop managing emotions that were never yours to carry. It won't be linear. Some days you'll feel younger than you expected. That's not regression. That's integration. Let that child return. Let them cry. Let them play. Let them finally be acknowledged. You are not damaged. You are reassembling. You may not have had a childhood, but you still have a future. And this time, you get to shape it. Not through pressure, not through fear, but through truth. And for the first time, you're not growing up to survive. You're growing whole.